Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. And apologies for my absence yesterday. We were celebrating a friend's birthday and there just wasn't time for tarot, so a day off. But I'm back, and I'm back with a Storyteller's Tarot, and that's because several news sources are speculating or even stating that Spare 2 is in the works, that Prince Harry is busy working on a sequel to Spare, sketching it out. He of course had those 400 pages left over from the first volume of Where, as it was called so aptly by South Park. Now apparently busy scratching away with his pens or his crayons or whatever he's using to write volume 2, reason being he's broke. And of course we all know that the Netflix deal is dead and there's nothing much else for the Parkles to do except write more salacious stuff about their lives or as royals, their relationship with the royal family or whatever. There's also a rumour that Madame's memoir is back on the table. We'll look at that tomorrow. Harry's today, Spare 2, and apparently it's being suggested that this, if you don't want me to write more nasty things about you, well then let me be half in, half out, do all of that stuff and it will quietly disappear. That's the thinking of some of these journalists, these reporters, these news sources who it seems to have been leaked to them that Harry is busy with volume 2, and this suggestion, some people are using the rather ugly word blackmail even. So we're going to have a look with the Storyteller's Tarot. I've shown it to you, but I'll show it to you again, why not? And we're going to see what's going on. Apparently this is one of the reasons why Prince William will have absolutely nothing to do with Harry, is because he suspects this or believes this and doesn't want to give him any more ammunition. We all know about the dog bowl and the necklace and all of that. Apparently this book will cover things like the security case. You can imagine that that would be quite nasty, the near catastrophic car chase, things like Centre Barley and the fallout of that, Meghan's attempts to be a successful influencer, which I think they believe is kind of undermined by the royals. So it has the potential to be pretty nasty. We're going to have a look at what's going on. Is he doing this and why is he doing this? Is it all about a money grab? Figures of $20 to $40 million are being thrown around potentially for this next volume of Spare. And of course if they are broke, they'd get a lovely cash injection right now. The big fat advance would solve a lot of problems immediately, wouldn't it? We're going to ask what the tone of the book would be like and how bad it would be for the royals. We'll look at Pa and William and see how they feel about it. And then we're going to ask if we are going to see a second volume of Where, and what this would do for reconciliation, for a relationship with the royals going forward. It's being described as a nuclear option by someone I was watching today, and yeah, it does seem like it would blow up any last rickety bridges that were around between, I nearly said the Parkles and the royals. It would be quite a final move, I would say. And of course it's tarot, it's for fun and entertainment. It is all my opinion and speculation, and we just look at energy around stories like this, gossip and rumor, see what the energy says. And of course there is a disclaimer in the box below, so let's get to it with the dragon slaying tarot. He's failed signally to slay dragons, and so writing some more as I say, salacious stuff might be really all he's got left in that little box of crayons of his. And of course 5 of coins is the outcast and banishment and broke card. So yeah, I think their finances are really as bad as we are all speculating they are. Bad for them. I think your average person, me for example, would consider myself blessed beyond anything I ever imagined if I had access to the kind of money that they have. But for them, with their lifestyle and Madame's taste in clothing and spending and whatever else. Problematic. 5 of coins. Ousted, cast out of the royal family. That trial balloon that was raised, inflated, what's the word, elevated in London a few weeks ago at the Royal Overseas League. So publicly, didn't do very well, did it? And we all know now, with hindsight being 2020, that it was really a panicked response to the cancellation of the net. Well, not the cancellation, the non-renewal of the Netflix deal. There it is: banishment, exile, no half in, half out, no reconciliation, and also being really broke. The 5 of coins. That is the underlying energy. It's a very serious card. It's a very difficult card, and reality might just have dawned for Harry about the true horror of his situation. I think Meghan, I don't know if reality will ever dawn for her. Let's see. Situation we're dealing now with volume 2 of Spare. We've got the 7 of Spikes, which is the 7 of Swords. I could even say the 7 of Spite with that card. It's how it's coming through. It's that rogue energy. The 7 of Spikes or Swords traditionally in tarot is about doing a disappearing act. It's very cowardly energy. It's very unethical energy. It's Megxit energy, but it's fundamentally a dishonest card. I have to say, as a tarot reader, that is genuinely what the 7 of Spikes represents. It represents thief energy traditionally in tarot. Someone taking something that doesn't belong to them, someone disappearing under cover of darkness with something that isn't rightfully theirs. And so it has this rather sneaky energy that what you see isn't what's going on behind the scenes. What you're being told isn't what's really going on with that 7 of Spikes. So look here, see, we want to reconcile. We've sent our people over to chat to the King's communications secretary. Meanwhile, type. I wonder who's writing it. Didn't occur to me to ask who's actually writing the book, but is the book being worked on right now? Ace of Hearts. Aces upright are yeses, generally in tarot. Ace of Hearts is a very emotional card, obviously. It's Ace of Cups, traditionally in Rider-Waite Tarot. Ace of Hearts is pouring your heart out. That's the feeling I'm getting. I've got a nasty little card as the situation we're dealing with. That's 7 of Spikes. That's the sneaky, somewhat duplicitous, even treacherous energy. That's really what we're looking at now, because people are talking about this book being used as a bargaining chip. That's a polite way of putting it. Give me some money, or I'll run to the press and tell more terrible things about you. But really, with this Ace of Hearts, is this feeling of just pouring it all out. More woe is me. Where, as South Park called it, there's more. Yes, I would say absolutely. He's writing his grievances down. And the first inkling we had of this volume 2 of Spare was, I think it's Scott Rouse. He's one of that body language panel, whatever they call themselves. He analysed the BBC interview when Harry was frothing at the mouth. He was fuming and stamping his little foot and going on and on. And he had a bit of dubious delight about him in certain moments. And I think it was Scott Rouse said, there's a book coming. He's working on a book. The security thing isn't going away. He's going to write about it. And it's all going to be Mummy Diana, and poor me. There it is. So what's the motive for doing this? We've already got money and banishment on the tarot table here. So what else can the cards tell us about possible reasons for writing? It does look like he is pounding away at the keyboard there. I've got the Ace of Scepters in reverse, another ace, but this one's in reverse. This would be the Ace of Wands traditionally. The Ace of Scepters, Wands, is about new projects, new ideas. It's things that are passion projects and creativity, and it would be Netflix, for instance, new deals with Netflix, creative deals, showbiz kind of things. It's in reverse. That means he's all out of ideas. He doesn't have anything else to offer. Even his charitable endeavors are unraveling quite spectacularly. Still waiting for that Centre Barley report. But this Ace of Scepters in reverse tells me that he's just got nothing else to offer anyone. Neither of them really has. We've seen that. They're not creative people. They're not intelligent people. They're not thoughtful, profound people. They're not fun and entertaining people. They're just whingers and lazy, in my opinion, and also the Spotify guy's opinion. So that's why Ace of Scepters in reverse, they literally have got nothing else to offer anyone except more grievances, more poor me. I nearly died in a car crash in New York, just like Mummy died in a car crash in Paris, kind of a thing. And yes, I'm being snarky. This is tarot for fun and entertainment. So let's have a look. What would be the tone of the book? What would it be about? We've been told things about security and whatever. What do the cards want to tell us? 10 of Coins in reverse. 10 of Coins is about future proofing for me as a reader. It's being passed down, being so protected that your future is assured. And it's in reverse. This has been cast out of the safety of the protective net of the royal family. So I think the heart of this book is not the heart of Invictus. It's the heart of I'm not being protected. I'm being cut loose. That umbrella of protection that used to be over me isn't. They won't spend the money. They won't look after me. It's a royal family card, the 10 of Pentacles, in the sense of amply provided for. Generations are looked after, and you're all in that protective embrace. They are not. And it's about money, and it's about spite and meanness, and they don't want to spend money on us, and they don't care if we live or die, and they've cut us adrift. Pa, cut me off financially, don't you know? All that kind of thing. It's going, it's sour. That's the energy that's coming through for me from that 10 of Coins in reverse. Sour grapes, and they wanted to go on their own. Well, that's what they said. I don't think it's what they really wanted, but it's what they got in the end, because that was the only workable option, and they're still kicking and screaming about it now 5 years later. So how bad would it be for the royal family? How badly would it reflect on the royal family? I've already got the royal family in reverse with that 10 of Coins card. So how bad would it be for them? King of Hearts. That's not a bad card. It's the king. And I'm getting from that a lot of what is going on here is the pity ploy with the King of Hearts. That what some of these journalists, reporters, whoever they are speculating could have some merit to it, or some truth even to it. And that's the King of Hearts is the King Charles, and that this is targeting Dad, and he's perceived as the weak link in this whole royal saga of being banished and outcast and not welcome back, and being impoverished as a result. Destitute is coming through as well with that 5 of Coins, that we're going to try our luck. We're going to have this cri de coeur with this Ace of Hearts, and then Pa is going to be so moved by it that Pa is going to relent and give us the keys to the kingdom. So it's not deliberately aimed at undermining the royal family. I think, this is my personal opinion, of course, that the motivation for this is to chip away at that weak link and try and guilt Pa into giving them things while Pa is still around, things that they want and that the other one is not going to give them. But let's look at Pa and Prince William directly. The king, first of all, feelings about this book. How's he going to react to it? Four of Scepters in reverse. It's like, oh no, here we go again. So Four of Wands in reverse. It's the broken home card, the unhappy home. He feels he's going to be bashed again for being a bad parent, as he was very much in the first volume, and in interviews, Pa didn't care. Pa favoured that witch Camilla over me, and all of that sort of stuff. I don't think she was actively described as that witch, but I think she was described as a villain, if I'm not mistaken. He would throw anyone under a bus to get her own way. So it's like, here we go again. It's going to destabilize the monarchy because the Four of Scepters, Four of Wands is the royal family, the firm. He's undermining them. It's going to make me look bad. It's another shadow over my reign, over possibly his autumn years, shall we say, of life. And why do I have to endure this again? Here it comes again, darling boy. It's more like that dratted boy who's doing this to undermine me, undermine the royal family, undermine the institution, and all because he can't stop banging this broken drum about his awful childhood, his toxic childhood. I think Pa, the king, had a pretty grim childhood too at some level. So there is that. And oops, that was a bird that it just bumped into the door. It didn't smack into the door. If you heard a little bit of a bang there, it flew off. So gave me a bit of a fright. But a poor bird, more of a fright, big fat dove. So let's move on, and let's move on to Prince William and his feelings about this. What is he thinking about this? Thinking, doing. There she is, the Queen of Scepters in reverse, Megan's card, the Queen of Wands. And it is very much Megan's doing. That's how he is going to feel about this, according to these cards. My opinion, speculation, that stuff. As ever, there she is. This is her. It's her machinations. This is her drama. This is her cunning plot. It's all her doing. She's winding him up. She's probably at the typewriter herself. Typewriter, where does that come from? At the keyboard herself, banging away. Many people speculate that she had a lot of input in Spare Volume 1. I don't hear any talk of the old ghostwriter coming back for another round. I was going to ask who's writing the book. I think Prince William has a fairly good idea. Well, that's possibly his opinion of who's writing the book. Certainly who's behind the book and why we have to suffer Volume 2. It's all her doing. It's all her grievances. It's all her winding the has-been up and setting him off again. And so, are we going to see Spare 2? Spare us some more. Are we going to see it? 8 of coins in reverse. It looks as if, and this is quite amusing, it looks as if there might be trouble with that $20 to $40 million payment for it. That's not the right word, but deal. There's a better word. Deal. It might not be so easy to squeeze that amount of money out of the publishers this time around, which is quite funny. There was a lot of chatter at the time. You know, we were told it was the fastest selling, best selling autobiography, non-fiction book ever in the history of the multiverse. There were some mumblings about booksellers who got books that just arrived, they hadn't ordered, and stuff like that. It was heavily discounted before it actually was live. What's the word? So some people will speculate that the book wasn't actually as successful as we were all led to believe. It was also the most sort of discarded book, the most dumped at charity shops and that kind of thing. So times are tough. We all know that. Cost of living crisis, as everyone goes on about. Times are very, very tough. Times are tough for publishers. Do they want this on their hands again? They may not. They may not. Impact on reconciliation with the royal family. If there is a book, how will it play out for the return of the prodigal? There he is, Knight of Coins. It's not going to be such a disruptive force for him as some of us might hope, because that's a Harry card, Knight of Coins, the Earth sign Prince, the Virgo, that's him. There is tremendous amount of chatter and I think expectation. I think everybody by now believes that Harry will meet with King Charles in September when Harry is back for the Whale Child Awards, and Pa is probably up still at Balmoral. They will have a private meeting, some sort of reconciliation based on family feelings, based on the King's health and all of that. So Harry doesn't have to go through what he went through with the late Queen, where he didn't bother to show up, and that stain will be on his soul forever. That's my opinion, of course. So I think that a lot of this is, I do think that there is an outpouring currently into someone's laptop, but I think it's more to move the dial with Pa. And I do think that the publishers are not that invested in this idea. So for all this brave talk of 20 to 40 million, it sounds a bit like manifesting. We know who has those moments of manifesting that don't quite manifest. The Queen of Scepters in reverse there. The Knight of Coins. I think this is a threat, and I think that it's not a given that this book is going to be hitting the bookshelves anytime soon. Don't think so yet. I'm going to keep an eye on this, because it's one of these things that I think blows hot and cold. I think it blows hot and cold at Montecito, and I think there is a lot going on that we don't know about, and we are trying to figure it out right now in the royal sphere. So there you have it. That seems to be what's going on. Amusing to me that Prince William sees that Queen of Scepters in reverse as what is really, really going on. That is the reading. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.